Hello, everybody. Hello. All right. Hopefully my phone will stay right there and it will not do any funky business like falling over. But I am so excited to talk with you guys tonight. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and let me actually tag Bree to let her know I'm on here. And I know I am a couple minutes early. Hopefully I am on at the right time. I know that it's different timing. I'm Eastern time, so hopefully it's the correct time. And I'll get started here soon. As you guys hop on, please say hi. I will introduce myself here shortly. But I'm so excited and blessed to be on here to speak with you guys. So I'll get started soon, like I said. So like I said, say hey if you guys are hopping on. Hopefully we'll have a good amount. I'm not sure where everybody lives, but I am in North Carolina, and it is 8 p.m. on the dot right now. So, yeah, get started soon. Can everyone hear me okay? I don't know if the comments are, sometimes they're delayed, sometimes they're not delayed. Let's see. Can y'all hear me good? I'm seeing that people are hopping on, not seeing any comments, but that is okay. That's all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Let's see, it's 8:01 here. So the first thing I want to do before I introduce myself, I want to say thank you, Bree, for having me. And I want you guys, if you are watching live, I want to know a couple of things before I get started. I want to know what title you are with Scentsy. I know this is a very big group. I want to know how long you've been doing Scentsy, and I want to know, do you work full-time right now? I know Bree did a poll, and last time I checked it, 63 people work full-time outside of Scentsy, 7 people do part-time, and 30 people stay home. I don't know what those numbers are right now. Let's see, I could probably go look, huh? Let's see. Okay, I don't think I'm seeing any comments. If you guys are commenting, yeah, I'm not seeing any comments. Weird. Okay, but I can see comments on the computer. Dang, this sucks. Okay, so I am a retired teacher because of Scentsy, and dang, this really sucks. I wish I could see. Does anybody know how I can see comments? I like a lot of feedback. I like Zoom because I can get instant feedback, but that's okay. Maybe I can start seeing it from here. Okay, I'll just leave that up. But welcome, everybody. Thank you, Bree. I saw you just hopped on. Thank you so much for having me tonight. I made her do a training in my group, and so here I am to return the favor. But really quick, who I am, my name is Amber Ryan. I am a superstar director of the group the team Feet to Faith, outside of Wilmington, North Carolina. I have been doing Scentsy since April of 2016, and it has absolutely changed my life. It has absolutely changed my life in the best way possible. I was a full-time special education teacher for the first, 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20. First 5 years of my business, I was full-time teaching. And so I know a thing or two about working a business while teaching. And Bree, if anybody has any like insight on why I'm not seeing any chat, I hate not seeing a chat. That's fine, whatever. If you guys know how to fix it though, slide in my DM so I can figure it out. But who I am a wife to my husband. We have been married since 2020. We actually got married the year of COVID, in my parents' backyard because our venue got canceled. I am a daughter. I am a sister. I am a mama of an 8-month-old little baby boy. I am a mom of a boxer. I am a daughter of a king. The Lord He is my shining light. I am a fragrance lover. I was a fragrance lover before I even used Scentsy. Candles were my jam. Bath and Body Works were my jam. I am a beach fanatic. I grew up in Wilmington, North Carolina with 2 beaches on both sides of my house. Not right at the beach, but literally like 10 minutes both ways. I am a wine and tequila connoisseur. I love me some vino. I love me some tequila. I am a plant lover, and I am obsessed with quotes. That is who I am. I was a teacher. Like I said, I was a special education teacher. I graduated from East Carolina University in 2013, and I taught until 2021. 2021 was whenever I was able to make the phone call to get out of teaching. I will get all into that to kind of chat with you guys about that. But since I can't see the comments, just going off of who I'm speaking to and what Bree said, I know a lot of people in this group work full-time still. Some are part-time, some are stay-at-home. I'm really going to spend the majority of this talking about what my business was like when I was working full-time, because I want you guys to know, first and foremost, that it is 110% possible to build this business from the ground up while working full-time. This business works around your schedule. You can work this business whenever you want to and whenever it works for you, okay? Do not have a boss. You are your own boss, but the only thing that's so crucial about that is you have to be on top of your time. You have to make sure that your time is spent wisely. You have to make sure that your time is spent doing the things that matter and not the fluff of this business, okay? So, really quick before I get into my Scentsy journey while I was teaching full-time, I want to let you guys know that I am a paper pencil person. I love me some Google, I love me some Gmail, some Google Drive, all of that, but I thrive off of paper pencil. All of my systems that I've always done with Scentsy have been paper pencil. I am a planner person. I used to be a planner person. I'm diving back into being a planner person now that I do Scentsy full-time from home. So I wanted to start this with a quote that I actually found in my planner from 2019. And this is when I was still teaching full-time. So I wrote in the back of my planner, this is from John Maxwell. No factor is more important in people's psychological development and motivation than the value judgments they make about themselves. Okay, I'm going to say that again. No factor is more important in people's psychological development and motivation than the valued judgments they make about themselves. I want you to think about this. What are you telling yourself? Are you telling yourself that you can be successful in this Scentsy business, or are you telling yourself that you can't do it? You are the only person that is going to stand in the way of yourself being very successful in this business or not being successful in this business, okay? I want you guys to go ahead and understand that. Nobody can want this business for you. If you don't want it for yourself, you can't do it, okay? So whether you can't tell yourself you can or you can't, you're exactly correct. So I put on here to replace negative thoughts with better thoughts, okay? One thing that I have always been very, very intentional on is a vision board and a goal board. If you don't know where you're going, I want you to dream. I want you to dream. I want you to think about where you want to be in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, whatever that might look like for you in life. outside of Scentsy, but Scentsy can be the vessel to get you there. Okay, I'm going to dive more into that. So my Scentsy journey during teaching full-time. So let's talk back on when I joined Scentsy. So I joined Scentsy in April of 2016. I had been a customer of my sponsor for 2.5 years. So 2.5 years, I was using the products. I used all of the products. The diffusers had just come out, so I didn't have a diffuser yet. And I was teaching full-time. I was teaching in Greenville, North Carolina, where I went to college. And I was getting ready to move back home to Wilmington for my boyfriend at the time. And I was going as a teacher in North Carolina. You can take your pay that's originally 10 months and you can expand it out to 12 months if you want to. So I was going from a 12-month pay and I was switching counties, so they were going to push me back to a 10-month pay, meaning I wasn't going to have a paycheck for 2 months during the summer. I had student loans, I had a car payment, I had bills I had to be paid where I was moving in with my boyfriend at the time. And those bills were not going to go away. So I had to figure out something. I had done a direct sales before, wasn't doing it anymore, but it was health and wellness. And I was like, okay, am I going to go back to waiting tables? Am I going to go babysit and nanny? I didn't know what I was going to do. I actually made a post and my sponsor was like, I know what you should do. And I blew it off again. And then I finally got to thinking about it. I was like, what's the worst thing that can happen, right? What's the worst thing that can happen with this Scentsy thing? I already love the products. I had warmers all over my house. I used the counter clean. I used the Scentsy Fresh. I had 3 dogs in my house. So I was like, whatever, let's try this thing. Let's try it. I went on her website. I pressed join. And I didn't look back. Okay, this was April 2016. If you guys remember back in 2016, there was no like boom of social media. There was Facebook. There was no stories. There was nothing like that. Okay, so I joined. I had a home launch party, and I hit the ground running. And that's how I built my business. Okay. I built my business doing home parties. Home parties are how I built my business. And you guys might be like, oh my gosh, a home party is freaking terrifying. And how in the world does that even happen? Y'all, I didn't have a successful Facebook party until COVID happened. And I had to teach myself how to do those. So I built my business. I built my customer base. I built my team through home parties, okay? So I had been teaching for 3 years when I joined in April. And just to kind of give you some insight, I hit Shooting Star, hit Sensational Start Level 3. I hit Director fall of 2017, Star Director 2019, and SSD 2020, okay? Just to kind of give you guys some kind of timeline on my Scentsy journey. But I was full-time teaching up until August of 2021. So I was doing this thing full-time on side of teaching. And not only was I teaching, y'all, I was doing special education. I was doing intensive behavior support. I would ask you guys to put in the chat, but I can't see the chat. Intensive behavior support is a lot of mental health. The mental health side of special education is not what I intended to ever teach when I went into special education. I was doing severe disabilities, adapted curriculum when I went to college. I got some add-on licensures and ended up doing high functioning autism for 2 years when I was in Greenville, and then coming back and doing getting actually thrown to the wolves, let's be honest, with teaching. I was thrown to the wolves to do intensive behavior support. My job was not easy. My job was, for lack of better terms, hell. I cried to and from work majority of the week. It was very hard. It was very intense. There was a lot of anxiety. I had very bad migraines because I was always under intense stress. There was a lot of it was just really bad. It was really bad. So I hung on because I didn't have an option of leaving teaching. And when I saw and believed in myself that I could stick with Scentsy and that it could be my way out of teaching, that's when the game changed. That's when the game changed, when I said, okay, you know what? Why can't I do that? So I'm going to talk to you about what I did while I was teaching. It's crazy to even still think that I was able to walk away from teaching because of Scentsy, but I did it. So the main thing that I want you guys to realize is that when you do what successful people do, you will find beautiful results. Do not overcomplicate it. Do not reinvent the wheel, but make it yourself. Okay? Do what successful people are doing. Train yourself, show up, do the things consistently that you know need to be done, and you will find beautiful results. And this is the teacher in me. I had them on a Google Drive, but I had to print them off because this is just who I am. Okay. So how did I make this business work while I was working full time? Okay. It is not easy. Okay. It's not easy. Nobody ever said it was going to be easy, and I'm not going to sugarcoat that. Okay. Like I already told you, I was doing intensive behavior support with some very, very needy babies. I was sent to the doctor at one point in time because my head got thrown into a partition wall, like very serious. I was dealing with anxiety, crippling anxiety on top of all the problems my kids were having. Very intense migraines. I was having to go see a neurologist to figure out what was going on. Missing a lot of work. That's what anxiety will do to you. That's what stress will do to you. I did not have time for myself, and I was stressed always. Okay. So I understand if you are in that place in your life where you're like, I just don't have the time, you make the time. If you can't see yourself doing what you're doing full time, and you're like, there has to be another way, Scentsy can be that for you. So I'm speaking straight to you right now. If you are like, it's time, it's time. Because when God makes a way, He will make it so evident and clear that you're in the right path that you won't be able to look any other way. And that when it's time for you to step away from what it is that you're doing that's not really serving you right now, and you can walk away peacefully because God shuts every single door. Be faithful and do it. Okay? I'll get to that, but that's where I was in August of 2021 when God shut every single door and said it's time to step out in faith and leave. My team name is Feet to Faith, and I am a firm believer that if you have the faith, you have to walk out in it. Okay? So that's a whole nother soapbox. So big thing for me, you have to keep your why in front of your face. Why are you doing Scentsy? And I would say put it in the comments, but like I said, I can't see the comments. This makes me very sad. Keep your why in front of your face, okay? Whether you're doing it because you want to do, let's see, you want to make your car payment, you want to be able to pay your house mortgage, you want to be able to not say no, you want to be able to travel, you want to be able to leave your full-time job, whatever it might be, you need to keep your why in front of your face and you need to know it. This is crucial for it to be a deep-rooted why that is attached to emotion, because when the gets tough, you need to know why you're doing it. You're not always going to be motivated. You're not always going to be like, yes, Scentsy, yes, Lord, okay? Why are you showing up for your business every single day when it gets hard? Because it's going to get hard. And when you're in those trenches and you're in those dips that we're in right now, why are you staying with Scentsy? You need to know why you're staying, because it's not going to always be hard. It's not going to be like this forever. Keep your why in front of your face, okay? So I already told you guys how I built my business. I home partied. I was in front of people all the time. I got the testers underneath people's noses. I did not have a successful Facebook party until COVID happened, and I was forced to learn how to Facebook party, okay? And then I trained myself on YouTube. I looked at Wendy Heath Newgas. I looked at the people I knew ran their businesses successfully on Facebook parties, and I learned, and I learned, and I learned, and I implemented, and I tweaked some stuff, okay? You have to learn how to do things that are gonna work for you. But I built my business doing home parties. I am a firm believer that Scentsy sells itself. It is an incredible product, but you have to be the one getting those testers underneath people's noses. You have to be the one opening your mouth, keeping your business open, and sharing Scentsy, right? We don't sell Scentsy. We do sell Scentsy, right? We are sharing Scentsy, and we're sharing what Scentsy can do for people's lives. You're sharing that Scentsy is amazing and that it's safe and that, you know, all the benefits of Scentsy, you're sharing it. You're sharing the scent of the, I don't have a bar near me. You're sharing the scent of the month. You're sharing the Valentine's Day collection. You're sharing the Bring Back My Bars. You're sharing the testers that are, you know, just sitting around collecting dust. You're sharing those. Those are key. They're key, okay? So I home partied. I followed up with those customers. I booked parties off of those parties, and I had excellent customer service. This is what I have followed into my Scentsy journey, except for I don't home party that much anymore. I did have a home party on Sunday. I still have some customers who are obsessed with home parties, okay? Those are my customers that love getting together, and that's perfectly fine with me. Excellent customer service. I got note cards that were from the dollar store. I didn't have a lot of online parties at this time, like I said, so I didn't have a lot of online orders. I was building my customer base. And I would literally write a handwritten thank you note. Handwritten thank you note in every single order. Thank you so much for supporting my business. I don't even know what I said. Love you. Have a great day. That was the gist of it. I started a VIP page from the very beginning of my Scentsy journey. My customers were automatically added to that page. I still do that to this day. Like I said, I brought my testers everywhere. I was always on the go. Always on the go. I was at work. I was going to the gym. I was doing this, that, and the other. I had my testers on me at all times. If it was hot outside, I brought them into work with me. I actually kept testers in my desk at work and catalogs because I had customers, and actually a lot of my coworkers turned into teammates because they were customers for quite some time, and I was like, you need to get paid for this. I knew what teacher pay was, and that was a lot of the shift that I had there too. But I had testers in my desk. I had testers in my car. I had like an on-the-go kit. I had catalogs. I actually still, when I go out and about, I have catalogs in my purse now. Scent circles. I keep samples in there too. But I always did that because it was actually easier to expose myself and talk about Scentsy when I was working full-time rather than it is now. Now that I'm home with an 8-month-old baby boy. Love him to pieces, but I'm home all the time. My business is primarily online on my phone. So it was easier to expose myself and to talk Scentsy when I was working full time because I was around people all the time. Make sure that you're talking Scentsy and you are getting those testers underneath people's noses, guys. That's my biggest tip. If you're working full time, you need to be talking Scentsy. You need to, I don't know what you guys do for a living. You need to have your testers out. You need to have a mini fan diffuser at your desk. You need to have a fragrance flower out. You need to have hand soap in the bathrooms. I always put hand soap and room sprays in our bathrooms at work. They would get stolen because parents would go in. I don't know who else would steal it. I don't really care. Their life was smelling amazing. They knew it was, so they took it. Bless them. But think about how many people you come in contact with. Don't make it difficult. The key to this is expose people to Scentsy. Scentsy products sell themselves, and then follow up, and then do you want free and half off, and then do you want to start a club, and then do you want to get paid for your addiction? Okay? Don't overcomplicate it. Don't overcomplicate it, but you have to strategically work your business in the things that matter. Something that I always did, and I still do, I had a dream team list, okay? I was looking back in my planner, and this looks different now. I have a different system that I use that's not in my planner, but I literally had a dream team list. here was a dream team list right here. There were a couple that looked a little different. But on these dream team lists, I'm right here too. I literally have the names of people that I wanted to talk to about joining. I used to send join information in the mail. I stopped seeing any return on that, so I would just keep keep track of when I contacted them. How our conversation went, what did they say to me, if they were saying not right now, whatever, and how I think that Scentsy could bless them. I kept track of this. I still keep track of it. It's just not this type of system. I just keep track of it a little bit differently. Like I said, here's actually an example of 2019. I made this at the end of 2018. This was my vision board. Star Director, this is how powerful words are. And remembering your why in front of your face. I wanted to hit Star Director in 2019. I did. I wanted to stop earning trips just for myself and start earning them for my husband as well. That's the year I started earning no lower than for us both. But you know, COVID happened and there was payouts. Our house, we were able to buy a house in 2020 because of Scentsy. Have a picture of a mom with her baby. I had my baby boy in May 2022 last year. A boat, we haven't gotten that yet, but that's fine. I'm a quote person, okay? So this is the power of putting that stuff in front of your face. But dream team list. One way that I still to this day utilize social media to help you prospect, okay? There's all the time that you're seeing, especially with the stuff being, everything's really expensive now, right? Everybody's talking about eggs and all that. Use that to help prospect. Not be icky, not to do cold conversations, cold messages, but use that as a leverage. It's free. It's free for you to market, so you can absolutely use it to know who might need the blessing of Scentsy. For me, being a full-time teacher, I was literally living paycheck to paycheck. I could not do anything outside of pay my bills and be at my house and maybe go out to dinner a couple times a week because I did not have the extra spending money. Keep notice of who can use the blessing of Scentsy, okay? So when did I work? When I worked full-time as a teacher, I was exhausted. I already told you guys that. I was not ever, super energetic usually when I would work. But weeknights when I got home after work, that's what I would do. My office was not this. My office actually, so when I moved back home, from Greenville, when I moved to Wilmington for my boyfriend at the time, we broke up, I don't know, a couple months after I moved home. Very, very, very bad breakup. I had to move back in with my parents for 6 months. So I went from having a corner of a kitchen that was like my little space, where I had my goals in front of my face. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. It was just a little like photo frame that I had taken the photo out, and put in expo marker. Like I remember I put like I wanted to hit star, and I put like what GWV and what PRV and how many teamies I needed. Humble beginnings. Don't ever forget where you came from. But I had to move back in with my parents, and I had their guest bedroom. Then because of Scentsy and the extra income that I was able to accrue through Scentsy each month, I was able to get a 1-bedroom apartment, and my office was literally a coat closet. It was storage. That's where I could keep my stuff, but I thought it was everything. I had a laptop that I had from college, and I worked on my kitchen table, okay? But I would work when I got home from work, okay? I did not do a lot of fluff. I did what needed to be done. I would package orders, I would book parties, and I would train my team. And when I would train my team, I would do lives to and from work. I would do lives while I was getting ready in the bathroom. I would do lives just making samples. Like, you just make it work, right? You make it work when you can get it done. Don't overcomplicate it. And something that I did up until COVID happened, I did in-person meetings, and I was very consistent with it. I was very, very consistent with it. My very first meeting that I did, I had one person show up. It was at a local coffee shop, and it was my best friend, and she showed up, I think, because she didn't want me to be alone. Nobody else showed up. My second one was at my parents' house. It was her and one of her teamies. So 2 people showed up. Those ended up being the best times every single month because I was consistent with doing them. Consistently show up. Maybe in person is not going to fly for you because you're like, oh my gosh, everybody's here, there, and everywhere. Consistently show up. Set team meetings for your team. Set it for your group. Set it for your leaders. Show up consistently. When your team sees you showing up consistently, they're going to do the same thing. You don't ever want your team to guess if you are working or not. You want to go the way, show the way, and know the way. Probably said that the wrong area. But you need to make sure that you're doing the things that you expect for them to do. And what I always did was I wanted them to know that I showed up for them, and I was going to consistently train them no matter what, even if they weren't going to show up. I wanted them to know that I was going to be there, and I still do that for them. Last year got a little crazy because, like I said, I had my son in May of last year. So we were treading water over here. Sometimes we still are, but I had to figure out a whole new way to work my business working from home with a newborn. But you need to make sure that you are consistently showing up, even if you don't have a team right now. If you're an essential consultant, certified consultant, you don't have a team right now, show up consistently because your customers are even looking at you. Your customers are looking at you, and this is what I always say. I say it to my husband, I say it to my friends, I say it to my team, I say it to my group. People are waiting for 2 things. 2 things in life, and this is very, very sad but harsh truth. They're waiting to see if you're going to succeed, or they're waiting to see if you're going to fail. They are waiting to see if you're going to succeed, or they are waiting to see if you're going to fail. One of the 2. You going to sink or you going to swim? That's what people are waiting to see. Show up. Show up. Because I'm going to guarantee you, if you just show up and you do the things that you know need to be done. Do I enjoy booking parties? No. Do I enjoy having conversations and being ignored? No. Do I enjoy being told no? Absolutely not. But I still do it. But I still do it anyways. You know why? Because I have a baby boy now that needs me home, that I'm not putting in daycare, and I'm not going back to teaching. You heard that. I'm not doing it. And I get to do this. I get to do this, but I have to do the things that matter. I have to do the things consistently that are important for me to be able to stay home with him. So that was a soapbox that I was on. I don't know where I was going with that, but I hope that helps somebody. So weeknights when I got home from work, that's when I worked. I worked on the income producing activities. It wasn't always pretty. I was actually talking to Bree earlier. I was looking back in my team page and I was looking at lives that I did. If you've been with Scentsy for a while, I encourage you to go back and look at what your stuff used to look like years ago. I was looking at videos from 2017 and 18, and y'all, thank God that I have gotten better at public speaking, because you would never know that in college, this is a tangent. I can get on a lot of tangents, but this makes sense. You would never guess that I was a teacher and that I was able to talk the way I am now to a screen or in front of people. Public speaking course at ECU during summer, so there was literally only like maybe 15 people in my class. I had such bad anxiety right before I had to speak in front of people that I would go to the bathroom and literally almost have a panic attack. And y'all, I have literally severe anxiety. I'm on medication for it. I have been since 2010. I would literally go to the bathroom, have an anxiety attack. and come back and be up there like shaking, giving a speech. So stay consistent, even if it's going live. Going live in your stories, y'all. Bree is the queen of freaking social media. That's why I wanted her to talk to my team. Show up consistently in every single aspect. Do what the successful people are doing, okay? Something else I did, I made it a point from the very beginning of my business, to go to events. Okay, SFR out of the question sometimes. My very first event was SFR. April 2016, I joined. I went to Nashville, May, June, July. 3 months later, Nashville, Tennessee, Scentsy Family Reunion as a star consultant. I didn't know a single person. I was actually in the car with one of Chastity Robinson, who's one of my very best friends. I met her literally on the drive to Nashville, Tennessee, and Macy Cox, and terrified. Didn't know a single person. Didn't even have the money to go to Nashville, but I did, and I'm so thankful that I did, because at that event I saw people. Y'all, listen, I was a full-time teacher, right? Full-time teacher, and I still made it a point to go to an event. So don't let your excuses get the most of you. But I went to that event, and I remember sitting there and I was like, wow, Superstar Director, what is that? Wow, they get to walk a stage. Wow, they get flowers. This is really cool. Okay, so that's where I saw the vision. I was like, I did not believe that I would be there ever. Here I am now. I didn't ever think that Scentsy was going to be something full-time for me. I'm so thankful that the Lord had a plan, and that this is my life now, because it's mind-blowing that I get to do this every single day. But I made it a point to go to events. I think they opened up World Tour events again. Don't quote me on that. And earning incentives. Make it a goal for yourself to earn incentives. Scentsy trips are the way to freaking go. If you've never experienced a Scentsy trip, I highly recommend it, but that's something I did from the very beginning, even as a full-time teacher. My first trip that I earned was leadership to New York City, and I was a superstar consultant. I wasn't even supposed to be at leadership, and I went to leadership as a superstar consultant because I earned it, okay? That was January of 2017. That fall and winter, the 2016, 2017, so I went into January, I earned an all-inclusive trip to Punta Cana. Most amazing trip I've ever been on in my life. Best incentive trip I've ever been on in my life. The best. So make it a point to go events. Make it a point to go to events. I was trying to put events and incentives together. And challenge yourself to earn incentives. You can and you will get it done, but you have to do the work, okay? So again, I kept my why. This is something I've always done. I say to myself, say to my team, I say to my group, your why has to be deep-rooted. Your why has to be deep-rooted. It has to be what's going to keep you working when you don't want to work. When you don't want to work. Eventives. Yes, that is the word I said, Brie. I don't know how I'm able to see comments now. It's very strange. Keep your why at the forefront, okay? I'm just going to show you guys mine. This is why I keep looking over here. Made this on Canva. This is my vision board for the year, okay? My vision board has quotes. I love some freaking quotes. It has pictures of my family. Mexico coming for you. My word of the year, and then some other things, okay? And then I have a version of it in words, okay? Keep it at the forefront. It's also my planner. I also have that same thing right there at the front of my planner. Okay. Happy Planner, highly recommend if you're a paper pencil person. This was in the sale section, $20, but I have it taped to the front of my planner. Okay. Highly recommend if you're a paper pencil person. And I just want to talk about this really quick, and then I think I'm almost done, okay? What time is it? 8:38. I've done very, very good. Okay, cheers, y'all. I love Cheetah, too. You can't see. Cheetah. My business changed. I want you guys to know this. When did my business change? When did I see a big shift in my business? When I started having a minimum of 2,000 PRV a month, that's when my business shifted. And why did my business shift then? Because I was expanding my customer base, because in order to get a minimum of 2,000 PRV a month, you have to be partying. That is when my business shifted. That is when my business shifted, because I had more customers. I had more conversations. I was following up with new people. I was having new relationships. I was partying again. I was following up. You get the gist, okay? So I'm going to challenge you. If you want more for your business, I'm going to challenge you. A minimum of 2,000 PRV a month. Not only do you get the automatic 5% commission pay increase for that month. So automatic 30% commission, which is a minimum of $600 a month. If you can't be blessed by a minimum of $600 a month, then you don't need to be listening to me talking right now. Challenge yourself that. When I changed that in 2019, so I joined April 2016, and I was looking back at my bar report about this. I was looking back, okay, because I was only home partying. I was, sometimes I was hitting 1,000, sometimes I was hitting 2,000, sometimes I was hitting 3,000. That was great, but it wasn't consistent. In 2020, when I half of 2019, when I consistently did that, my business took off, okay? And if you've never looked at your bar report, I highly recommend doing that if you've been with Scentsy for a few years. So, really quick, let me go over this. I don't want to take too much more of you guys' time. You guys, like I'm from the north, y'all's time. The systems that I did while I was working full time, okay? So I told you guys that I had a planner. I already showed you guys that. I used a Happy Planner. And so I had the vision board, showed you guys that. Right here. I had a checklist for weekly to-dos, okay? I had a checklist that looked like so. And it literally went through the whole year. You can see when I stopped using it. But it literally went May to April. Why did we do May to April? Because that's annual sales, annual mentor, okay? And it literally would just go down what I needed to do week 1, week 2, week 3 of each month, okay? And I could just check it on there. I also had on here, I had at the very front, annual sales, annual mentor checklist. That is way before we had anything on the workstation. Holler, praise Jesus for that now. I already showed you guys my dream team list that I had on here. Paper pencil person that I am. I had a new consultant checklist whenever I would recruit somebody. When did they join? What was their why? And then I had a checklist of everything that I went through, okay? Systems are needed. You have to have systems in place. They don't have to be fancy. They do not have to be fancy. My systems do not look like that right now. I do a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday checklist now. I use some other paper pencil things as well. If you guys need to see anything on that, go on my YouTube channel. I have trainings on that, and there's Google Drives on there. But that is really the focuses of doing this thing while working full time. And then you're going to wake up one day and God's going to put it on your heart, and you're going to be able to walk away, if that is in your vision, walk away from something that's not serving you anymore because of Scentsy. Scentsy can and will change your life if you allow it to, but you have to stay consistent in the right things, and you have to do them all the time. Not when you feel like it, not when you wake up and you're like, I'm going to do this today because Bree told me that there's a rainbow in Texas, Okay, not like that. You have to show up no matter what. Okay, that's all I have for you guys. Does anyone have any questions since I can see comments now? Let me know. If not, I really, really appreciate you guys letting me come chat with you guys. And I hope this was helpful. And yeah, hopefully I'll get to meet you guys at SFR in Charlotte, which is only 3 hours from me. This is the first time it's ever been this close since Nashville. So I'm really excited for that in July. But, and if not, if you'll be in Mexico, I will be in Mexico. I'm still trying to earn my husband's spot right now. We are actually 2,454 points away. So, awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for having me, and I will talk to you guys later. Thanks, Bree. Bye, y'all.